further back core, which would have made it much more secure. Well, yeah. I mean, clearly there was definitely some inefficiencies when it came to the wall there, unfortunately, which did allow everything to snowball out of control. But regardless, GG well played. That leads us here into our next series. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran. It is MANGRUSL. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the pink Terran player, the SC2 Terran for Hokkaido T team. It is ZaRDieNT. Hold on, I'll fix his name. There we go. Or Valkyriant. Oh no. SMH. Oh, but here we go. As we are going to be selling it. Oh, that's actually blinding bright. Hold on. Is that like a more tame pink? You know, one of these days I'll set up all the color codes and we won't have this issue. This is fine right now. Here we go. As we are jumping in. Now, MANGRUSL, as I mentioned before, as we're going CC first, is a player that I haven't been able to cover too much of as of late. This looks like CC first, 3-rec stim timing, by the way. God damn it. We see it all the time, papi, all the time. But we're setting up for that 3-racks opener, 3-racks alongside Academy, alongside Stim, alongside a Stim timing across the map. This is a build that has been very popular and has been quite predominant throughout every matchup. TvT, TvP, and TvZ. Just go for the Stim timing. Let's go. And hey, I mean, it works. Does work. Aye. Of course, this is a build that has since been nerfed quite often and quite heavily over the past couple of patches, even more so after this event. Bear that in mind. So it's not as strong, as powerful as it was when this event took place. Again, this is a replay cast from events that took place quite some time ago, but we are catching up. And oh my god, we setting up our axes back at home. We do have our own opener as well, going for something more economic. We do see ZaRDieNT going for a Rax expand into a delayed factory back at home. We'll see how he does respond to this, whether it comes to his Hellion timings, tanks, actually going for an early tech lab. Okay, you have my attention. Early tech lab into early add-on swap into early tank production. This I have not seen. So really early tank production here from ZaRDieNT. This might be done in time to defend against the bio push that's coming. Bear this in mind. The reason why I reacted earlier, I was like, oh my god, 4 axes, not 3. This is not your typical 3-rack stim timing. We're getting up to 4 axes. We're going for something much more committed here from MANGRUSL. Okay. So this is going to be much more committed. We have 4x stim instead. Yo, we heard you like Raxes, so we put more Raxes on your Raxes. Oh, the Raxes. But again, ZaRDieNT is being hyper defensive, right? He saw the initial opener. He did see the initial 3-axes, so he responds quite hard with all these tanks. So very early tank production. Bunkers being thrown down as well. ZaRDieNT just turtling up as best and as hard as he can. And we'll see if it's going to be enough. I haven't seen this interaction before. I don't know how many Marines are going to be. If the spread is good enough, we might still be able to break the siege line and break the tank line. We'll see. We'll see how this all comes together. Likewise, if MANGRUSL scans ahead of time, he could try to bait out the tank shot with his first medic. I could try to move in with a medic, tank the shot, then stim in. Scan into the main, reveals the 1-1-1, reveals the Cloak Banshee. Banshee's on the way, does see the tech lab researching. As the army breaks out. I believe there's another scan that he's holding on to. He has yet to scan the natural. So we now have 2 tanks. Both are sieged. I feel like ZaRDieNT, he should be okay here. He should be solid. 2 tanks, a bunker. Banshee moves out for a counterattack. 3rd CC is on the way. There's a scan. Does see the tank line? Yeah, he wants none of it. And MANGRUSL, he will barely miss that Banshee. Banshee gets across the map. There are no scans available, but we do have a blind turret too. I say blind turret. Again, he did see the 111. He did see the cloak Banshee, so turrets are ready. The Banshee will delay the third TC if it is on location. There's another scan. Meanwhile, another factory is on the way. ZaRDieNT getting into mech. And he's getting some value here. Let's pick away the army. Oh, we're committing even harder here. We have cloak, not just cloak, we have hyperflight rotors as well. Getting to hyperflight rotors. Continuing his own Banshee production. Meanwhile, getting into mech. Blue Flame Hellions on the way. More tanks. Setting up. Likewise, MANGRUSL. Oh god. From the initial 4-axe Marine into 3 more factories. You have siege mode on the way. Getting his own bio tank. Third base getting up and running. Again, because ZaRDieNT is being so defensive and so turtly, now is the time for MANGRUSL to be greedy and to tech up and to mass expand and to try to take advantage of his map control. Do you see ZaRDieNT scanning? Does get eyes on the factory production. Now what MANGRUSL is looking for, it seems to be here, is he's waiting for the move out. And if these tanks ever do move out across the map, he can always stim in. He can stim in for a counterattack. It's interesting, he's not in position to delay the push, he's in position to punish the push. Has Triple Banshee into the main. Will threaten some of these SCVs. A couple of workers are going down, getting up to 5. Getting up to 5 SCVs. MANGRUSL scans. Does see the transfer, moving in. Can he get the tank? Oh! Oh, not quite. No. Not at all here. He gets punished, goes for the dive. Ambitious there from MANGRUSL. He will bleed out the entire bio army, at least the one harassing across the map. Medics to get the hell out of there. And the game will continue. Again, he saw an opening, he saw an opportunity, but alas, didn't quite get there in time. And hey, now we have to pay the price for all those cheese games, for all those cheeses and all those shorter games that we had leading up to this 30-minute game. let's go. Slowing the game down, getting into siege lines. MANGRUSL actually rushing into earlier BC production. Interesting. Much earlier here. This is quite greedy, but we did mention earlier, we spoke about how it's on MANGRUSL to punish his opponents for being so defensive and so turtly by mass expanding and mass teching. Now, he didn't rush into a 4th base, he could have, didn't rush into a 4th base, for now he's keeping up with the Banshees, but instead is skipping tech and rushing into BCs early on. I believe unscouted. Yeah, so far unscouted. So ZaRDieNT, he has no idea. He's still focusing on tank and Hellion production. Now this ground army here for ZaRDieNT is still terrifying. Ooh, when he's going for the mass on siege. MANGRUSL, I'm sure he's hoping that ZaRDieNT's going to be more passive and more defensive. But now he's moving in. Mass on siege, pushing forward. We do see Interference Matrix is just barely halfway done, so not quite done yet. But ZaRDieNT is moving out. MANGRUSL here on the high ground has the bare minimum to defend. He's vulnerable. We're waiting for the disables. And MANGRUSL trying to mass up those BCs, but it might just be too late. Tanks are moving in. And even without the disables, yeah, they break through that defensive line. They're getting themselves the CC. Base force lifts. On top of the CC, have disabled the BCs. They have arrived. No anti-air. There's 0 anti-air. The BCs, they shut down the tanks. And ZaRDieNT is forced back home behind this, going into Cyclone production. I was going to say that the BCs can chase this, but the Brutal BCs are a little bit different. Again, remember, they are less mobile. They cannot teleport back home to safety. If they move out, they're more committed. So we're making 3 Cyclones at a time. No Vikings, just more Ravens. BC's moving in.
Research complete.
As Yamato is done. Ooh, massive. We go for the Master Sable. Yeah, Master Sable here on the battle cruisers. Despite that, still moving in. He just tanks it. 1 BC looks like it's going to go down to the lone Cyclone. Oh no! Oh my god, so close. BC survives. And the rest, they just camp here. They camp the army. Yamato is done. Yamato on the Rave. Jesus, the BC takes so much damage. Wait, Cyclones are cracked. Oh my god. He solos the BC. I mean, the auto turret did help, of course. Oh no, he's hitting another. Wait, that 1 Cyclone has 2 BC kills. Oh my god. What about everything else though? What about everything else? The tanks are going down one after the other. Cyclone's getting the lock-on. Lock-on is broken. Likewise, more tanks falling. And we have that ground army supporting here for MANGRUSL, is moving out. Still with more BCs building up tanks back at home. And meanwhile, another BC falls. Wait, the 4th Cyclone hit squad. He's crazy. Get out of here, BC. Get out of here. No, you're not safe. There's 3 Cyclones. Oh my god. The BCs are torn apart. Impressive. What a small amount of Cyclones can do. We have more Cyclones on the way. From here, of course, ZaRDieNT are taking another base, getting his southern and actually double expanding. But thankfully for MANGRUSL, he did clear up enough tanks. Checking the Unisol side here, 11 tanks went down. That means that any kind of ground-based push is less effective. Sure, we have a lot of Cyclones, but that's what the tanks of MANGRUSL come into play. As he now has his own tank line. Is now moving out. Speaking of ZaRDieNT, he does barely miss the rotation. Banshees everyone into turrets. Main army moving in towards the linear 3rd. ZaRDieNT coming from behind. Widowmines then waddling in. Up the waddle. They're trying to get under the BCs. There's a scan. Widowmines go down. Tanks, they have the high ground. And ZaRDieNT's just outpositioned. The base does fall. ZaRDieNT going for the counterattack. Going for the potential base trade, or at least catching reinforcements. Try to find any stray units. Gets an SCV. MANGRUSL turns around. He has a setup here to surround this army. So we have vultures on the way. Ooh, pushing into a tank line. And vultures are coming from behind. Yamato on the tanks. Oh, on the Viking as well. Yeah, ZaRDieNT, he does plummet in supply. Oh, not bad. Going further on by. I'll be honest, we don't often see slow vultures. Like, I don't know if you notice the vultures are supposed to be. Oh no, the boys are being pulled! 17, 19 SCV kills. Ay. But Iron Thrusters has not been researched, so the vultures are a little bit slower than they otherwise would be. I think they all did go down. MANGRUSL with the surround. Catching out the army. But that was still 24 SCV kills. It shows how far ahead MANGRUSL was. He's still ahead in workers, by the way. Like, MANGRUSL still has that higher SCV count. That was still insane damage. Meanwhile, another command center goes down. ZaRDieNT going for another Hellion run by. MANGRUSL fighting position. Nah, he's got tanks. Yeah, he's got tanks. He's fine. Tanks will defend. We have a massive Raven coming in. Oh, despite that, Yamato's so brutal. Going for the auto turrets. Oh god, the Ravens are going to go down. And the Ravens, they need more time. They need more energy. They're not ready for this. These are fresh Ravens. And with that, MANGRUSL, he's done it. He's clawed his way back into this. After a shaky start, not gonna lie. After a shaky start, the BC rush did pay off. It paid off. Takes down the expansion. At the same time, Hellions, they roast up a mineral line. But MANGRUSL, he has done it. Pushing on through. Rotating over towards that natural. And GG gets called. MANGRUSL takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, MANGRUSL, he didn't have the strongest start to the game, bearing in mind that he was being broken. If you recall, he was down when it came to the army supply. We saw mass tank moving out across the map. It was 11 tanks or 11 plus tanks for ZaRDieNT as he was knocking down that third. And then the BCs arrived. The BCs arrived just in time to defend. Even then, not the cleanest defense, as they lost 2 BCs early on, but regardless, did clean up all the tanks, did force back the army, did survive, and did snowball from there. GG. GG, well played. Impressive play there by MANGRUSL. We're now going to be following him into game number 2, and we'll see if ZaRDieNT can bounce back. Game 2 is going to be on Vermeer. Let's go. SE1 tanks with SE2 graphics are so damn cute. They're nostalgic, Bobby. They're nostalgic. Hello, Sinister. Hello. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Bom dia. Bom dia. As we're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top right hand corner of Vermeer, we have the Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran, leading the series 1-0. It is MANGRUSL. They changed places. Momento. Man, beautiful. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the pink Terran player, the SE2 Terran for Hokkaido T team. It is ZaRDieNT. Here we go, and welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom left, bottom right, top left, and top right as well. We do have multiple spawn locations, and we'll see how our players do approach this. We did see ZaRDieNT play into Mech last time, but that was with SE2 Terran. We'll see if that continues here with Brood War Terran. We'll see how our players do adjust here. As we do have CC first out of MANGRUSL, CC first out of ZaRDieNT. Makes sense because of how large the map is, and because it's a 4-player small map, the chances of there being aggression or cheese or an all-in is a little bit lower here. We are safe enough to go for that command center. Technically, you can try to like gamble and proxy in the center of the map and try to look for your opponents, but neither player is really too concerned with that. MANGRUSL does fully wall off with these initial 2 Raxes. Oh, my apologies. Sorry. For some reason, I thought the races were switched here, but no, same. So 2 games in a row, MANGRUSL playing Brood War Terran. 2 games in a row, ZaRDieNT playing SE2 Terran. So MANGRUSL can once again go for, yep, the 4-rack stim timing. Same opener, same build, 2 games in a row. So we have our 4 racks. Now, what's a little bit concerning here, in my mind, is that now it's going to be more difficult for ZaRDieNT to figure out what's going on. Remember, last game, ZaRDieNT with the SCV Scout, he saw all 3 Raxes early on, so he had a very strong response to that, going into the Fast Factory, into Tech Lab, into very early tank production. And by the time this army got across the map, there were 2 tanks in a bunker, and ZaRDieNT completely shut it down. He shut down the aggression, he shut down the sim timing, ZaRDieNT defended, and the game progressed from there. Here, it's going to be more difficult to scout as ZaRDieNT, one, doesn't know where his opponent is going for the cross scout though. Okay, does scout diagonally, but he will only see 2 Raxes. Now, based on what happened last game, he can make an assumption. He can assume it's going to be the same build, and it looks like he's going for the same opener. Yep, Tech Lab into early tank. Okay. So this is a repeat of last game. We have MANGRUSL going for the same build, and ZaRDieNT going for the same opener as well. SE does confirm MANGRUSL's location. Does confirm 2 of the Raxes. And the tank is on the way. Tank is on the way. Bunker as well. So again, ZaRDieNT taking this very seriously. On top of that, it is diagonal spawns, which does mean the rush distance by ground is longer. So it's going to take longer for this army to get across the map to hit that sim timing, and the game will progress. So it looks like the game is set up currently here to get up to 3-4 bases to get into that mid game. I'm curious to see if our players head in that direction in the same way, in the sense that we see mech from ZaRDieNT and we see kind of like biotank into eventual mech out of MANGRUSL into a rush into BCs. It worked last game, but do we really want to rely on that? If you recall, one of the reasons why it was so powerful defensively, especially, is, as we have a third CC on the way, is because if you recall, when the BCs arrived, ZaRDieNT was knocking down the third base with pure Hellion tank. He had almost zero anti-air. Speaking of BCs, MANGRUSL, true, MANGRUSL doesn't know where he is. He scans, he's looking for the base. Speaking of BCs, we have a 2-port BC out of ZaRDieNT. He's crazy, oh my god. He's like, I liked your BCs last game, let me do you one better. 2-port BC production here from ZaRDieNT. He is crazy, he's insane. Meanwhile, the Bio Army does move out, he knows where his opponent is, and this time, because of the BC production, that means only one tank. Only one tank this time, instead of 2. So the defenses here are weaker, less Marines as well. Oh, but it is still going to be enough here to deter MANGRUSL. He sees the bunker, he does see the tank as well. Yamato's on the way. And MANGRUSL responds with mass Raxes. Sorry, mass factories, I meant to say. So we have 3 more factories on the way. MANGRUSL, he will soon eventually scan the main, he has to. But when he does he spot the BCs? Like, will he see what's happening in the corner of the main base, or will he not? Let's see what the location of the scan is going to be. For now, claiming his third. MANGRUSL pulls back. And we should be seeing that scan momentarily. Now, he will have anti-air in the form of all these Marines. That's true. He's making more Marines behind this. There is no armory, so he can't actually get into his own... Oh, production. There we go. Scans in. He does see the researching fusion core. He knows. Whew, now he knows what's going on. Immediately, turrets are on the way. Throwing down as many turrets as he can in the mineral lines. Yep, covering all the bases. Remember, it's 2-port BC, not 1, so it's more dedicated, more committed. Here we go. BC's coming in. Teleporting into the main. There's the first sim. Sims in to respond. We'll chase down the first battlecruiser. Getting it down to half HP. A lot of Marines are going down. Yeah, a lot of Marine kills here. The terrain, the Sim City working against MANGRUSL here. Oh, the BC. Oh my god, it's so close. So close to going down. He sims in. He wants it. He wants the BC. 16 HP. Oh my god. Barely out of range. Again, 16 HP BC. Bearing in mind the teleport is on cooldown. Armory's done. We have those. I said Valkyrie. Then we have the Goliaths on the way. Scans across. We're making another set of battlecruisers. MANGRUSL. Now he did see the floating over expansion. ZaRDieNT scans, sees the army. He's getting in position. Moving over with his tanks. Goliaths at home to defend. Marines zooming across the map. But the tanks are in position. Technically, could try to catch this battlecruiser. Oh.
Base is under attack.
But now just avoids. Just avoids. There's the teleport back home. Does teleport away. Marines simming in. ZaRDieNT, he does scan. He does confirm. Oh. Within range of the CC. Oof. And with these battlecruisers, I mean, these Marines should go down. He does target down the base, so it's getting very low. But not low enough. Yeah, with that battlecruisers, they defend. Another one getting across the map as well, but there are Goliaths in position. I'm still making more. Yeah, we're just not stopping. Now, it does seem like MANGRUSL is going into its own BC production. We do see the science facility on the way alongside 2 more starports with control towers. So it looks like we're working towards Sky Terran versus Sky Terran, BC versus BC. This is where Ravens can be a big factor as well. As Ravens, of course, they can disable the BCs of your opponent. There we go, 3 more starports. That's going to be a 5 starport setup here from our Pink Terran, from ZaRDieNT. Did I say 5? Yeah, getting to 5. Meanwhile, MANGRUSL already moving out. Again, I don't know if he can really break this position. He scans, he sees all the battle cruisers. He's at least taking a 4th. Likewise, so is ZaRDieNT. My play is expanding. Starports are done. Like I said, we'll zone away the BCs. We'll zone for now. Oh, but Yamato's are going to pop off. Yeah, focus on the Goliaths. Oof. Yeah, so many of them go down to 3. He does get 1 battle cruiser, but only 1. That is not worth it here, as everything's going to go down. MANGRUSL plummeting in supply. He did not respect the BCs. Didn't respect them. As more BCs are building up. As you mentioned, MANGRUSL getting to his own battle cruiser production. But again, his anti-air is very limited. And ZaRDieNT, he has momentum. He's moving out. He's moving out with 6 BCs. And I'll be honest, I don't think MANGRUSL can stop him. MANGRUSL, he has 3 Marines and one Goliath. There's no shot. No shot. 1 Goliath, 3 Marines. He's got turrets on the way. Turrets, they can maybe buy some time if they finish in time, but that's not going to happen. They're still in production. BC's moving in. Turrets are being dealt with. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. 3 tanks go down. Species that can tank the Yamatos, but there's still more Yamatos that came from. There's still 5 more. And he's going for it. He's going for the mass Yamato. Oh, teleports away. Didn't commit. Okay. MANGRUSL, he holds his own. He's surviving. Still down 40 supply. I do feel like we still have a lot of Yamatos in the chamber here, so we could have maybe sent some of them out. And that's ZaRDieNT respecting the army. Does pull away. And he's that step closer here, that much closer to mass battle cruiser. Like, ZaRDieNT still has momentum, still has a massive lead. MANGRUSL has a lot of catching up to do. At this point, I would say that MANGRUSL, he has 0 map control. He's stuck at home, and his only way to win this game, I feel, is to fight with the help of his turrets. If he can fight alongside as many turrets as possible with his BCs, with his anti-air, then he can overwhelm, he can overcome, he can maybe like hold on and recover from there. But fighting without his turrets, I don't see that going well for him. And even then, I'm not saying that his turrets are going to be a sure thing, but like that's maybe the best chance that he has. Oh boy. As unfortunately, MANGRUSL doesn't know where the army is. So ZaRDieNT, he scans, he sees the location of the BCs, he knows, okay, I know where your BCs are, let's hit somewhere else. Let's go for the natural. So making his way towards the natural, MANGRUSL out of position. He does not see where the army is moving in from. Turrets are going to be targeted down, and he gets 1, he's going to get 2, he's going to get 3, he's going to get all the turrets. SCVs as well. He does force out the battle cruisers, and again these BCs that will not have support. Oh, teleports away though. Does dodge the Yamatos. That takes down 13 SCVs, good damage. Again, ZaRDieNT, he's avoiding a head-on fight. Getting to 3-3 upgrade, Jesus. Getting to 3-3. Now, another way to help support this army, as we have been focusing on purely BC production, and a big way for MANGRUSL to recover, even being down in supply, is lockdown. Ghost and let's go, let's go. Lockdown is going to be, I would say a superior version of even interference matrix, of course. because lockdown does root the unit in place, does disable them completely, and with some well-placed lockdowns he can shut this army down. He can shut down those BCs, but he needs as many ghosts and as much energy as possible. So he's slowly building up. I do think that ZaRDieNT has missed an opportunity. Like, ZaRDieNT, he's maxed out. This should be the time that he's trading. It feels like he wants to wait for 3-3, but the longer he waits, like, the better chance there is for MANGRUSL to build up an army. Like, again, I was expecting, like, him to move in and mash Yamato and then teleport away, but didn't Yamato. And Yamato does catch out these tanks, though. Nice pickup. Tanks, they go down for free. You know, MANGRUSL does take down a base. I think the StarCraft BCs won a straight on fight. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, or that's why I did mention that I did expect Yamato to be spent and then teleport the hell away. But that has been happening. Like more hit and run tactics, right? Because the StarCraft 2 BC is more mobile, right? With that teleport available, you can commit and you can make use of your HP a little bit more before escaping. But Jesus, now we have how many? Up to 12. Like this, it's taking a little bit too long at this point. And now we've built up towards a comparable BC count. There was a time where ZaRDieNT almost had double the BC count of his opponents. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now, there is going to be some counterplay available. I was going to say that I'm a little bit surprised there's no Raven production, but I guess like the starports have been busy making BCs, so they haven't had room for any kind of Raven supply. What there is, though, are ghosts. So ZaRDieNT is going into his own, I guess, a little bit of a mixture here. Some Vikings, he has some Ravens. The ghosts here, their most valuable tool here is going to be EMPs. Now, if we can land an EMP on the go, I mean, true, you can EMP the Yamato away from the BC. True, right? That's something that doesn't exist in SC2 anymore, but EMPs on the BCs, EMPs on the opposing ghosts to deny the lockdown, that can win ZaRDieNT a fight. So a lot of this will come down to the positional play here of ZaRDieNT, of those EMPs. If he can deny the lockdown, if he can deny the Yamato, then he can pop off. So these ghosts, they got a lot of work to do. the 4 hits got a ghost. He scans, spots the army. Ghost moving in. As ZaRDieNT, he's committed. Ghosts are being kept busy. ZaRDieNT setting up his own turrets. Valkyrie's moving in. Just some Valkyrie support. Oh no! DPs! From behind! Oh my god, does catch out most of the ghosts. Yeah, most of them do get caught out, but there's still some lockdowns available. Going for the anti-armor. Yeah, anti-armor still does pop off. Valkyries, they do quite a lot of splash damage. Here come the Yamatos. And Yamatos as well. ZaRDieNT though. Yeah, he bleeds out too much. Yeah, he's going to be overwhelmed here, even without the lockdowns. One BC gets locked down, but the BCs, they dominate in the sky. Oh my god. As we mentioned, we did expect more hit and run tactics out of the SC2 BCs, but there was no teleports, did not get away. He committed, and with that we'll lose everything. And again, only one lockdown went off, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm impressed by the movement of these ghosts. Like, it was really cool to see him sneak around the army and EMP the ghosts. That was great and all, but in the end, it wasn't a factor. In the end, the BCs still did take it. Behind this, making 5 BCs at a time, but MANGRUSL, he has done it. He has done it, he will overwhelm. Oh my god. Yamato's popping up. Yeah, and right now we're just kiting as best we can, but alas, the mass BC has done it here. And remember, these are against 3 BCs of ZaRDieNT, by the way. Look at the Yamatos. Battlecruisers are getting low. We get us around. It's close. But alas, MANGRUSL, he has too much. He barely has too much. Takes down all the BCs. With the 1-2 upgrade. Let's go. He just came in the production. I mean, I say that he's bleeding out a lot of BCs to the Vikings. Ooh, he will lose everything. All the battle cruisers are going to be going down. They're cleaned up by the Vikings. But behind this, we have another wave. We have another wave of BC. He's moving in. He's moving in. As he's going for the kill. He wants to go for the kill. He wants to go for the throat. So he's up against how many? He's up to 13 Vikings. Oh. Catching them SCVs. Still moving in. EMP going up. Nice EMP on the battle cruisers, so no Yamato. Oh, the Valkyries! Oh my god. The Valkyrie AoE is always crazy. Oh my god, catching out some of those Vikings. Valkyries do go down. The Sky Terran versus Sky Terran. Let's go. So far, nice kiting here with the Vikings. It's one of those things that very clearly, like, going for your own counter BCs against the BCs of your opponents is maybe not the best idea. Like, these Vikings, they're trading well, trading very well here. Able to stay barely out of range for a time. Sniping 5 BCs. Again, the stick. At the same time, Marine run by bottom right, catching out some of those SCVs. MANGRUSL just crippling the economy here of ZaRDieNT. Catching out more workers. Back at home, we have more Valkyries building up, less battlecruiser. I should say a mixture of the two to support. As we're up to 7 BCs. Now building up those Valkyries, getting into Goliaths as well. And unfortunately, ZaRDieNT, he just cannot keep up. Not anymore. ZaRDieNT, he had a strong start. He had a very strong start to the game with his initial BC rush. But alas, he wasn't able to take advantage of that lead that he had. If you recall, we were mentioning how he was maxed out, but he was being passive. He was waiting for 3-3. And in that passivity, MANGRUSL, he was able to build up. He was able to overwhelm. Oof. Oh my god, the Valkyrie shots are brutal once again, just punishing those Vikings. Glide zone away. Vikings are going to be dealt with. And MANGRUSL is just cleaning up these bases. GG gets called. I was expecting us to finally get to an ace match, but no, never mind. GG, MANGRUSL with the comeback. He recovers and he will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here to MANGRUSL for claiming the series 2-0 for advancing on. But again, a really intense game 1 and game 2. In both games, ZaRDieNT actually had a lead. Like ZaRDieNT, he was actually in a decent position at the beginning of game 1 and here in game 2 as well with his initial openers. But last he was, you could argue, maybe a little bit too passive here in game 2, which allowed MANGRUSL to recover, to build back up. Likewise, maybe not making as much use of his BCs at times when otherwise he could, and with that, MANGRUSL, he was able to recover, build up to 12 battle cruisers, get into his Valkyries, of course, buy time with those turrets. GG, well played. Impressive play there by MANGRUSL. The tenacity, papi, oh my god, did not give up. And that leads us into our final series of the quarterfinals. Up next, we're going to be having our Zerg versus Protoss matchup between Kot and Reality. Again, Kot, he is last month's runner-up. Is runner from last month. Off of nothing but cheese. I do not expect any macro, I'll be honest. I expect nothing but all-ins out of Kot. And we'll see how Reality is able to handle that. Let's go.